Wow, we're finally here. Hello there, my name is Tales of Grimm and welcome to what most likely will be the final episode of What Remains of Edith Finch. Lest anything crazy happens, like we find out what happens to everyone and then there's like another 2 hours worth of stuff, which could possibly happen if they're going to go into really what the curse is and maybe how to fix it. But otherwise, this should be it, because I think all that's really left is Edie. Oh, that's right. Okay, so we're in, who was it? Yeah, Lewis. Lewis's room. Oh, Lewis was a, another one of those disturbing ones. Oh, hello.
Lewis and I spent a lot of time playing games together, but he was surprisingly bad at them. He died a lot.
Aw. What is that, a Super Nintendo? Okay. Can I move my way out of here? I think I need to actually get out of the boat. Because I came in through here, but there was like another staircase up, isn't it? No, no, I didn't want to. Okay. Ooh, let's do that again. Yeah, let's not forget, she's like 22 weeks pregnant. Like, she should not be doing any of this. Okay. Let's see. Maybe not. Maybe I made a mistake. I don't know where I would go from here though, really. Unless I have to go through here. Maybe I'm just lost. This game hasn't had like any tricky parts so far. But I'm... Oh, what? I didn't even move. Okay, back in we go. Maybe that door. Maybe that's the way. Can I go this time? Oh, I felt it drag me just then. I had to fight that. You gonna do this? Okay, we did it somehow. This game does have some touchy mechanics, but it's really great.
On the way back from Lewis's funeral, my mom told me to start packing. She waited until the day before we left to tell Edie.
Oh, boy. Anything? No?
I'm not sure if she wanted to make it easier or harder.
So wait, this isn't Edie's place right at the top. The great-grandmother? Maybe just grandmother. Right at the top of like stairs after stairs and ladders. You can't tell me this is where she stays.
I wish we'd stayed.
It's kind of evil if that's the case.
But I understand why we left.
Place has been a wreck.
My mom ended up leaving everything behind.
Sanjay. Oh, that's right, our mum's also dead, isn't she? Yeah, there's Dawn and Eddie. Edie? Eddie. No, it's Edie.
What happened that night had been coming for a long time. Maybe it should have come sooner. But it had to end one way or another.
Oh, this is so cool.
Now was to tell you about that last night.
What do you mean? 2010, 2016. I wonder if it's going through. It might be. No, it can't be. I was thinking, is it going through like the order of when people died? But that's not quite right. Because the first person was Molly, but she was born the year that he died. And he was the second one, I think. Unless it's possible I missed Edie, which is possibly possible, and I would hate myself, but I feel like that'd be bad if the game allows you to actually missing. Nope, okay, Edie. You know what? I'm an idiot. I shouldn't have doubted myself. Hey.
That whole last day, Edie just watched us pack and didn't say a word. Until supper, when she raised her glass and said,
"To our final night together, and all our final nights apart."
Grandma, you know what I said about alcohol. Some of your medications are very
Edith,
specific.
I left a present for you in the hallway. Why don't you go open it? The grown-ups have to argue now.
I'm sorry,
let
you're
Grandma
right.
have her alcohol.
We're all leaving tomorrow. Let's just enjoy our last...
I'm not leaving.
Edith, you're excused.
Hey. Old people, they don't like leaving. I've also got my coffee. And it's in a Minecraft block. It's great, because it holds like more coffee than any cup I've ever seen. Plus it tells me how hot my coffee is. Oh. Let's peek inside.
the power had been shut off that morning, but Edie always had plenty of candles. When my mom sealed the library, I don't think she knew about the other entrance.
Ooh.
Or that Edie had a key to it.
Okay, let's go in here. Oh, what?
That thing you're afraid of isn't going to end when you leave the house.
Oh.
Edith has a right to know these stories.
My children are dead because of your stories. I think it's best if Edith and I leave tonight.
I don't know if
We'll have the nursing home send a
knowing
van
about the
for you in
stories is
morning.
what killed them.
Okay.
History of the Finches. Okay, let's do it.
Dear Edith, there's so many stories I wish I could tell you.
Go ahead,
There's
I'm all
only
ears.
time for one.
Okay,
This is about what happened on the night you were born. That
interesting.
night, the tide went way, way out.
And we walked all the way out to the house at sea. I bet that's gonna be it.
It was the first and last time I ever saw the old house aground.
Oh.
There'd been an earthquake out in the middle of the ocean.
Oh,
They
wow.
called it the lowest tide in 1,000 years.
I'd believe it. Look at this.
God, it smelled awful. You know, I've seen that house every day of my life.
Well,
But I never thought
don't know what to
I'd
tell
go
you.
back to it. When the fog rolled in,
oh,
I lost my way.
I mean, it's like, oh, what's the forest in Legend of Zelda?
I got turned around.
The forest of mystery or something, or like sacred forest. I can't remember what it's called. The hidden forest, the hidden leaf village. What is that one called? Where like if you walk into the mist, you
For
like
a
actually
while,
teleport back to the
I
beginning.
wandered. I
What did you
started
wander?
seeing things.
Oh, dear. So what did you wander?
Things I'd forgotten had ever existed.
Oh, hello.
But when I saw them, they felt like old friends.
Huh?
That night,
Oh.
a lot of things came back to me.
Oh. Hey.
Or maybe I came back to them.
Oh, it's a boy that's stuck in it. Out you go. Good to know it still works.
Things I can't explain, but
So-
that I need you to try.
Edith, what are you doing in here?
Excuse me.
It's mine.
Edith!
It's
Mom, you're
mine.
gonna rip it. Let go.
Give it here. I want the book.
I kicked and screamed, but Mom dragged me to the car.
Excuse me.
I never saw Great-Grandma Edie again.
No! Gam.
The next morning, the van came to pick her up. She was already gone.
What does that mean?
After that, we moved around a lot.
Okay. So we never got to find out?
We both tried to make the best of it.
Round 3.
A few years went by.
Oh, sorry. Oh, where's some tissue? Hey, I got a dandelion. That's gonna turn into fireweed if I'm not careful. Oh. Here we go, I gotcha. Don't need blue?
My mom didn't like to talk about it. But she started getting sick a lot.
Oh, my
The
words.
rest happened pretty quickly.
Oh dear. Reach for her.
She got better for a while. And then she didn't.
I don't really ever think for like
and then I was alone.
hand warmers. Which is cool because they're sick.
Last Finch left alive.
Well, you don't know about your grandmother. She just stayed at the house.
Until I found out about you.
Fair enough.
I'm still not sure what to tell you about all this.
You'll tell me a good time.
If we lived forever, maybe we'd have time to understand things.
Are we forgetting right at the beginning someone
as
was
it
in our
is,
garage?
I think the best we can do is try to open our eyes.
How do we move past that? There's just like, there's someone in
And
your
appreciate
garage.
how strange and brief all of this is.
Am I about to be birthed? Maybe.
This journal was supposed to be for you.
Or my blood.
But now I hope you'll never see it.
No, I have a feeling I'm gonna get birthed.
I just want to meet you and tell you all these stories myself.
Well, I mean, if I'm your child, surely you'll meet
I
me
guess
someday.
if you're reading this now, things didn't work out that way.
Did she die during childbirth? Oh, that's really sad, actually.
This is where your story begins.
Oh.
I'm sorry I won't be there to see it. It's a lot to ask, but I don't want you to be sad that I'm gone. I want you to be amazed that any of us ever had a chance to be here at all.
That's really sad,
Good luck.
actually. Oh. That's actually really sad. Hmm. Oh, the game's over. Shirley Dallas. Oh. Okay. Oh. We got there quicker than I thought we would, but I guess it gives me a lot of time just to talk about my thoughts on the game. Because I started saying something at the end there, like, what happened to that whole... what happened to the end... what happened at the end... What happened at the beginning, should I say? Because it was... we just, like, started getting to the house, and then they made a thing, like, there was a noise out of the garage, and then you go to the front door and it says, I think there's someone in your garage. And you get into the garage and there's no one there. And then there was no one in the rest of the house? Is that supposed to be just imagination or something? And I guess it was also left, like, to interpretation what the curse was. Which I actually have had some thoughts on, which is that... Here's the thing. All of the deaths are very weird. If I can explain it that way. The deaths all seem to be like things that are completely reasonable. Like, none of them seem super mysterious except for a couple. So hear me out. Altogether, it does sound pretty crazy. Huh. Thanks, Johan. It seems pretty crazy, but like, some of the deaths just make so much sense. Like, the guy who died out at sea, the grandfather, because he wanted to take his house on a boat and the boat sank. Completely reasonable. The guy who was mentally depressed and put his head inside that's called not getting the, help he needed. That was just incredibly sad, but it is just part of what happened. Suicide's a very real thing. Then there's, what's it called? Calvin, who was just on the swing and flew into the ocean. Understandable. There was Sam, whose daughter shot a deer, and the deer wasn't dead, and it knocked him off a cliff. Completely realistic, like, in that situation. Like, none of these seem like overly crazy things to happen. The craziest one was the first one. But if anything, what I believe probably happened is just at the beginning when she turned into a cat and jumped out the window, in reality she just jumped out the window and probably fell and maybe rolled into the ocean and drowned. Like, as dark as that is, it's probably the most realistic answer for that. Like, she had an over-the-top imagination and wrote a story, and then she tried turning into an animal, jumped out the window and just drowned. Like, it's unlikely she actually had abilities to turn into things. Because none of the other stories really had, like, supernatural occurrences. The only other one that was even close was Barbara's. And her one just seems weird most of all. Because, you know, it was like this whole crazy thing. And clearly none of them really knew what happened to Barbara. But what they do know is that Barbara disappeared that night, and all that was left is her ear inside the music box. And I feel like that's a weird thing for a monster to do. So maybe she had a mental breakdown, cut off her ear and ran away. Maybe she was murdered by her boyfriend or something. I mean, they never saw him again either. Like, clearly something happened. I'm just throwing down ideas here. It could completely be reasonable that, in fact, there was a curse or anything. But I'm just saying, I'm wondering if it's possible or something else. Maybe it was all just completely fake. Maybe. Oh yeah, there's more. The replay a story option is now available. Select Edith to play from the beginning. Oh, I can watch a person's individual story. Oh, is this saying because these two are connected in one story? Yeah, okay. This is cool. But just like thinking about them all, the ones that are the most suspicious are Molly's, Barbara's, and Milton's. Those ones seem the most suspicious. Calvin's is weird just from a physics standpoint. Sam's makes sense, Gus's makes sense. You could say Gregory's is unlikely because the water actually had to turn on, but people just not focusing in their baby drowning in the bath is completely real. It's like an actual issue. So I don't know whether the story just made it seem like it was a supernatural occurrence or if it's real. He died because we did something silly. He was in front of a train. I don't know. It's something I might have to think on more, because there's definitely some weird occurrences, but majority of what I got from it is essentially that this family has a lot going on, and they're very... What's the word? It's something I am, like, you're attracted to being injured, essentially. Just like, in every sense of the word, if something can happen, it'll happen to you. I can't remember what the word is, but I don't know. And maybe there's some stuff I really missed, because I think that's what I really need to watch the game theory for me to be able to see, like, if MatPat found anything that I missed, which is very, very likely, because MatPat's a genius. And I'm just some guy in his room playing a video game. Wow. Well, it was over so quickly. I don't know what to say. Well, what I will say is this game was amazing. I really, really enjoyed it. Everything from the art style to the music to the voice acting was beautiful. For each individual character actually having voice acting and the modes in which you played the game, like, I will say, Barbara's, Molly's, and Lewis's were so fun to do because they actually had like proper story elements. Sam's was interesting, having to do the camera. Who else was there? Walter's was alright. I think just like from a standpoint of like, I don't know, like it was just weird to like experience that whole like bunker life sort of thing. Gregory's was just sad because I knew what was happening the entire time and I had to actually drown a baby. That was just disturbing. Gus was cool. Milton's is interesting. Like I wonder what happened to him. The thing I was going to initially say is that their stories all had some connection to the ocean. Like the monster that killed her came from the ocean. Like his, like, you know, fish. He flew off a swing and drowned in the ocean. He fell off a cliff, probably into water. His boat went down. Like, they all seem to have some kind of connection. His was like run on the beach. It was like a storm. But I don't know, like drowned in water. I don't know, like I thought that might have been a connection, but I'm not too sure. Because there's also ones that just clearly aren't that, like died of a disease, died during childbirth. He just disappeared. For all we know, he could have drowned, but he just disappeared. Well, Barbara's, her one doesn't really have any connection to the ocean unless like a monster came from the ocean and did hallucinations and ate her, sort of like similar to Molly. It's possible, but I don't know. And Walters, he got hit by a train. To be fair though, what was that train doing next to the ocean? Because when you go on that train track, it just goes straight out. I don't know. I'm clutching at straws here. Either way, this was such a good game. This was really, really fun, and I loved playing it. And I can't believe I haven't played it till now. So, this has been What Remains of Edith Finch. Sorry this last episode was so short, but if you guys know if anything I missed that I can go check out, like maybe one of these stories since I can fast travel to them all, I would love to go check it out and see for myself. Maybe if you say like, oh, you need to have a closer look at this one, you might notice something interesting. Yeah, I'd like that. Anyway, thank you all for being here tonight, and my name is Tales of Grimm. I'll see you guys in the next video. Have a good one. See ya.